Shalom, my friends, this is Max Joseph, and I'm here because, although I'm sick and lost my voice, it's the first day of October, which means it is time for the predictions. This started last month, but to give a quick rundown, the predictions will be a video that will be released on the first of every month and will feature my predictions for the upcoming Academy Awards. Each category will feature the maximum number of nominees possible, with an additional few that are the next in line, and then the big snub that should make it. I won't get into detail about every single pick, because then the video will be 9 hours long. So I'll always talk about my pick to win and some other highlights on the list. So here are my predictions for the 2020 Oscars, October edition. Best Picture. Alright, so if you watched my video last month, I had Marriage Story taking Best Pick, but I moved it down one slot and moved Martin Scorsese's The Irishman up to win it all. It just premiered at the New York Film Festival here and got incredible reviews. People are calling it a masterpiece, and if that's true, we could see one of the most nominated films in history. And my other big change is the addition of waves. I'd be really on the lookout for this one. It looks stunning and is actually one of my favorite trailers of the entire year, and I could see it doing some serious damage. Also, I did unfortunately take The Farewell off my list. It breaks my heart that I did that, but I think with the early release date, it's gonna get looked over. But hopefully I'm wrong and it gets the love that it very much deserves. Next in line in order are The Farewell, Joker, Just Mercy, The Two Popes, and Judy. The big snub that should make it. The Last Black Man in San Francisco. I think this was one of the more perfect movies of 2019, and it's a shame that it probably won't get recognized at all, especially the score, which will end up being the best of the season. I would put it right up there with If Beale Street Could Talk, which was my favorite score from last season. Best Director. I still feel pretty good about Scorsese taking home this one. It has a perfect 100% score on Rotten Tomatoes, and people are saying that it is one of Scorsese's best movies of all time. So I think he might take it in a walk. I'm personally hoping for Greta Gerwig to somehow win this. As much as I love Shape of Water, I wish she would have won in 2018 for Lady Bird, which, in my opinion, is a top 20, maybe top 10 film of the decade. Next in line, in order, are Quentin Tarantino, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Taika Waititi, Jojo Rabbit, Trey Edward Schultz, Waves, Lulu Wang, The Farewell, Marielle Heller, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. The big snub that should make it, Olivia Wilde, Booksmart. This was the same as last month, but I'm just so in love with this movie and with Olivia Wilde. There's going to be another few picks that I have the same, and I'm going to try and choose different ones every video, but sometimes I just feel very passionately about these things, and one of them is for Olivia Wilde. Actress in a leading role. This is probably my favorite category so far this season. I can actually see any of these 5 women taking the gold, and even the nominees who I'll list next in line. So going back, since it was announced that Cynthia Erivo was going to play Harriet Tubman, I had her as my pick. For over a year, I've been like, she's gonna win for this. But then something happened. And that something was Renee Zellweger with a comeback performance in Judy, in which she gives the greatest performance of her career, which says a lot with her career. And so my pick has changed, and I think Zellweger has a great story and great momentum going for her, and I think she deserves it. Good news is that Erivo isn't going anywhere. She'll have her time. Who knows? Maybe they'll do a remake of The Color Purple, and she'll win an Oscar for the role that gave her the Tony, Emmy, and the Grammy. Next in line in order are Alfre Woodard, Clemency, Awkwafina, The Farewell, Charlize Theron, Bombshell, Felicity Jones, The Aeronauts, Helen Mirren, The Good Liar. The big snub that should make it, Lupita Nyong'o, Us. Similar to my last month's pick, which was Florence Pugh for Midsummer, these two women gave probably 2 of the best performances we'll see this entire season, and both will probably go unrecognized. It's another case of a way too early release date, as well as being horror films, which very rarely get recognized. But anything can happen. They gave a very well-deserved nomination to Daniel Kaluuya just a few years ago for Jordan Peele's first surprise blockbuster, Get Out. Maybe we'll get another nice surprise. Actor in a leading role. I'm still really feeling a driver win, but he'll be going up against some gigantic powerhouses here, and with a few veterans who've also never won gold. In fact, Jonathan Pryce and Antonio Banderas have never even been nominated somehow. This is going to be a tight race. No matter who ends up being nominated, my potential picks are lunacy. The 10 picks include 6 past nominees, 3 of which have already won an Oscar. And with that, my next in line in order are Robert De Niro, The Irishman, Christian Bale, Ford v Ferrari, Calvin Harrison Jr., Waves, Daniel Kaluuya, Queen and Slim, Taron Egerton, Rocket Man. The big snub that should make it. Himesh Patel, Yesterday. I adored this movie and I adored Patel. He's also done barely anything on the big screen, but his next two projects are pretty epic. Tom Harper's The Aeronauts, and then that little upcoming Christopher Nolan flick, Tenet. This dude's future is bright, my friends. Actress in a supporting role. All right, let's get right in it. Jennifer Lopez. Jennifer Lopez is a thing, and it is indeed the real thing. She was absolutely brilliant and gave the greatest performance of her career. Do I think it'll be enough to steal the crown away from Laura Dern? Probably not. But I would not be shocked if this turns into a bloodbath between the two. Second, I think I'll just continue to put Zhao Shuzhen higher and higher so I can just put it into the universe that she gets a nomination. Third, can you imagine this beautiful world where we see Dame Maggie Smith back in the awards scene? She hasn't been here since 2001 for her supporting performance in Gosford Park, and I will always be here for the two-time winner. Next in line in order are Nicole Kidman, Bombshell, Anna Paquin, The Irishman, Meryl Streep, The Laundromat, Margot Robbie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Anne Hathaway, Dark Water. The big snub that should make it, Lily James, Yesterday. I guess now that I have two snubs from yesterday, I should say that I just saw this movie for the first time. I don't know how I didn't see it before, and maybe that's why I'm so excited about it at the moment, but I don't think so. She was excellent and is bound for glory in the very near future. I want to see her do everything. I loved her in Baby Driver. I even liked her in Cinderella, and if they made a Cinderella 2, I'd be into it. Actor in a supporting role. So the big change here is obviously the brand new addition of Sterling K. Brown as your winner, with Pitt moved down as the number 2. I think we could see a very similar trajectory for Brown like we did for Mahershala Ali's performance in Moonlight. It's possible that, like Ali, Brown could just steamroll through the entire competition and take home every single prize. From the praise that he's already getting, I just wouldn't be surprised. And I would be 100% on board with it because I think it's just... I think it's something about his face that just makes me want to start sobbing every time I look at him. Next in line in order are Alan Alda, Marriage Story, Anthony Hopkins, The Two Popes, Joe Pesci, The Irishman, Willem Dafoe, The Lighthouse, Song Kang-ho, Parasite. The big snub that should make it, Jonathan Majors, The Last Black Man in San Francisco. I'm not changing this pick because he was that good and I have not seen a single better performance than him this year. Original screenplay. I still think that Noah Baumbach is going to take this one. I just feel very confident that this is going to happen. But there's that guy who's already won this award twice, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood's Quentin Tarantino. You can just never count him out. No matter what your feelings are about him, people love him and they love his movies even more. And this was one of the most unique films of his to date. Personally, I'm really excited about Queen and Slim with a screenplay by Emmy winner Lena Waithe. It'll have its world premiere as the opener of AFI Fest on November 14th at the historic TCL Chinese Theater in Hollywood, California. I just have a really good feeling it's going to be one of the shockers of the year and be a huge success, with stand-up performances from Jodie Turner-Smith and Daniel Kaluuya. Fingers crossed. Next in line in order are The Farewell, 1917, Knives Out, Booksmart, and Pain and Glory. The big snub that should make it, Us. Jordan Peele, please convince someone to give your films an end-of-the-year release. Please. Maybe make the next one about Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah. I don't care. But whatever it is, just make sure it's released at the end of the year. Because aside from your screenplay, which was for sure one of the most unique and original of the year, I guarantee that if Us was released today, Lupita would have had a much higher chance of being nominated. Adapted screenplay. I think The Irishman will end up having the bigger night, but I think this is the one award that Jojo Rabbit will win. But I do have Irishman winning Best Picture, and some would say that it would make sense that the Best Picture winner should also win Screenplay, which is totally valid, but you know, last time the Screenplay matched Best Picture was in 2016 at the 89th Academy Awards, when Moonlight took home both Adapted Screenplay and Best Picture, which was obviously 1,000,000% deserved. Next in line in order are Joker, Judy, Ford v Ferrari, Just Mercy, Dark Waters. The big snub that should make it, Hustlers. Y'all might laugh, but this script was fantastic. I do think it'll get snubbed, but don't be shocked if it's pushed by Annapurna. It can happen. Those are my predictions for the 92nd Academy Awards, October edition. Let me know what you have predicted in the comments. Agree, disagree, let me know. And so my friends, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe to this channel, as well as follow me on Twitter and Instagram at mjoseph492. Like my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/maxjosephfilmperson. And if you really love me, please consider being a patron on Patreon, where you can get patron-only content, guest interviews, giveaways, and lots more. You can even give me a film to review or a song to cover from your favorite film. And that video will be dedicated to you. Shalom, my friends.